just I'm totally fried now. Like, there's just
There's no more
nothing else
cells.
really works.
Yeah.
So it's
that
like
shit's all warped up in there.
so sometimes like a month goes by and I'm like, damn, where'd that month go? And then there's times where I'm sitting at a light and I'm like, I've been here for
Look,
what seems like fucking 2 hours.
I haven't slept for 2 years since I had my son. I haven't slept. I mean, it's been 2 years and 4 months
Right.
since he was born, and I have not had one really one solid night of sleep. I've had every night, and now, little dude, I won't have it any other way. He chooses to sleep in our bed, and that's it. That's his decision. He's making it happen. So, but he kicks me all night, so it's. Yeah.
Oh my
I'll,
God.
I'll never see sleep again. I feel like
Wow.
it. But he's gonna get pissed off at me, be like, "F you, Dad," at 3, and then he's gonna go right into his own room and find his independence. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, they're good. Like, it's funny. Like, they were never really used to like a solid structure, and like when they're with me and shit, they're so good. Like, they really are. Like, they listen well. Like when they go to bed, I've like never had to deal with them crying or like I don't want to go to bed. It's like I learned how to speak their language and they understand mine. So it's like we have like a good.
And y'all live together.
Yeah.
Like
My mom kind of
solid.
My mom kind of took us all in because I moved out of my ex's place in Palm Beach Gardens, went back with my mom, and then in 6 months all this shit happened, and then we ended up together and fucking, and then fucking the dude couldn't pay his FBL bill for the 4th month in a row. The kids had a cough for a month, and I'm like, enough of this shit. Fucking his family was saying he was still fucked up. I'm like, we got to get him away from this shit.
Your mom's still living in the same joint.
Yep, same. That's where Dad's house originated, is the garage. So yeah, that's.
I actually thought from watching Dad's house I thought that this was your garage. I was like, oh, that's awesome. He's really pimped it out,
My garage is a bed and a computer because that's where we stay, so the kids could have the room. So.
Right on.
So when you were doing tattoos and stuff, what was the worst experience you've had with a customer?
There are far too many to count. There are far too many to really remember. There was a couple. I think the worst thing that I ever had to deal with, maybe because I'm impatient, is the hey man. They come in. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, what can I do for you? What are you looking to do today, man? I don't know. I want a tattoo. What do you think? The fuck do I don't even fucking know you, dude. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to fucking I think a giant cock going into your mouth is gonna look fucking awesome. Let's do that. It's like fuck.
Here, let me stencil it.
I've had situations where I was in a tattoo parlor working in Boca, and a guy came in, and this one dude did a tattoo on him and kind of scarred him up a little bit. He was a little high when he was doing it. And he came in and he was ready to beat the shit out of that guy. And,
right.
I mean, that was a situation. I had to manhandle the dude out of the
Holy
shop, and I'm not a big guy. He was, so it's fucking painful.
That sucks.
so you get that kind of crap, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing tattoos anymore, is because I don't want to deal with the fucking jag-off customers and the jag-off tattoo artists, because a few tattoo artists, right?
It's funny, people talk about musicians' egos, but something in the water down here in fucking West Palm Beach and in Miami and Broward, it's like everyone shits on everyone else's. It's like there's more camaraderie in the music scene. Like fucking I don't like a lot of bands because my tastes are just fucking super picky. Like my ears just like what they like.
Sure.
And there's a lot of shit that just doesn't speak to me at all. Like 311's like a huge one that people like get up in arms about. They're like, you don't like 311? I'm like, no, I'd rather stick a screwdriver in my cock than listen to a 311 album. But that's just me. And it's like, but like I could appreciate the fact that they play well. I could appreciate
they're
that.
fantastic musicians.
And I could appreciate that they're out there doing it. And as other human beings on this earth, I don't wish them death or anything. I just don't like the art,
I've seen them 3 times.
And
I don't own any of their albums.
See, but that's awesome. Like if I catch a show, I catch a show. You know what I mean? Like I'll sit and watch Loggins and Messina, and I'll fucking sit there and look at my dick and be like, all right, we're having a good day. But like, there's like other artists, like they'll be like a really nice tattoo, and they'll be like, "Fuck that guy, man, his shit sucks." And it's like, No, it really doesn't. It's actually really good. I mean, you might not like no, fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Bro, you want a good tattoo? Here's my card.
Here's my card.
And it's just like, come on, dude. It's like fucking. It's like let mechanics have that.
No, I've always
let the car mechanics have that.
I've always said this, man. I've always said, you know, I worked like at tattoo parlors that had a tattoo parlor right next door to it. You know,
Right.
always. There's always been a tattoo parlor right down the street. So I've always said, you know, you can go there. They're going to give you something different than what I'm going to give you. It's not necessarily going to be better. It's not necessarily going to be worse. It's just going to be different. I'm a different kind of artist. This is what I do. I'm not a copy artist. I'm not really good. I was never good at it. So that's what made me not such a great tattoo artist was taking all of other people's work and reproducing it. But doing my own thing and having the opportunity to do my own thing, that's where I kind of shined a little bit.
And you'll get a better
Yes, God.
tattoo.
I have a question. If God so wanted to get a tattoo, would you do it, and how much?
You want a cock on your face?
No, God does not want a cock on his face.
Come on.
That's boring.
No.
Then I'm not doing it. I'm only doing cocks on the face, and it's free all summer long.
Hey, babe.
No, seriously, you want to do a tattoo? I want a tattoo.
Sure, I'll consider it.
All right, cool.
I'll consider it.
No cocks, though.
We'll talk about it
Will you give-
in my prayers.
Will you give me scarification?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
He's got to ask.
Yeah.
He's got to ask.
Scarification. There's nothing stupid about. Not that you're stupid if you have scarification. Yes, you are.
It's
I know
like
a really big dude who has scarification. He did it of his company logo. His company folded 2 months later.
Oh my God.
I wonder if he.
He's
Was it a
actu-
porn company?
No,
Was it a
he's-
giant cock on his face?
He's actually.
Because I know that guy.
It's he's one of the managers over at Tootsie's down in Miami.
Oh, that's what he does. Gotcha.
Well, that's a beautiful little side note.
He got it done in New
Tootsie
Orleans.
sounds like a horrible place. Like everything about the name Tootsie's.
First off, Tootsie was a Dustin Hoffman film
I
in the
remember
80s.
Tootsie.
All right, so let's start with that. So now we're talking about transvestites. Is it a transvestite bar? Is that what we're talking about?
No, it's
If
actually
not, is it a poop bar? Because Tootsie kind of
it's a
reminds me of poop for
very
some reason.
it's a very popular strip club. It's like the size of a fucking Costco.
You know, it's next to that gay bar, Ramrods. You know, right next door. Oh, you never been to Ramrods?
Joey.
Fucking liar.
Joey loves the
Fuck.
cubby hole. That's his favorite place to go.
Hey, dude, sometimes you want to lay on your back and take a piss on your chest in front of some strangers and not think anything of it. They'll be like, that guy's all right. You know, fucking. Sometimes your normal friends will judge you for shit like that. Like, sometimes you want to pull your foreskin till it's like a horizontal fucking, like, little mouth. And fucking mouth like the fucking, like, you know, shit from The Shining at people. You know?
That's nice.
I want to bash your brains in. Bash them right the fuck in. You're using your foreskin to talk. You know, and some
Wait,
fucking.
do we have a graphic for that?
And some guy wearing chaps, some guy wearing chaps is sitting there looking at you, listening to Sylvester and shit. And it's like, you make me feel mighty real. And fucking like, and you don't feel bad about it, you know? Sometimes you go to the gay bar.
You don't feel bad about it.
So what are your feelings on religion? We actually had
A segue.
We had
That's a
a-
nice segue. So, what are your feelings on religion?
we had a very heated debate between me and a woman that believed that Noah's Ark was literal. And it was pretty much me screaming, "Are you fucking insane?" and saying if there was two of every animal on the boat, animals eat other animals, there would have been fucking nothing except for lions and some rhinoceroses and shit. You know.
Well, yeah. There's absolutely no evidence suggesting that happened or could have happened or
Even the
anything
flood.
other than a fairy tale or even the flood. But the movie, right? The movie. Now the movie, I have not
happens,
watched
then
the
it's
whole
true.
thing. Look, I watched about 15 minutes of this movie. I want to watch the whole thing because I was very intrigued. Darren Aronofsky did it, who also did
Right.
Pi.
The Wrestler.
and
The Wrestler.
Darren Aronofsky?
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke's one of the best performances by Mickey Rourke.
Wait, I don't think Darren Aronofsky did that.
Yeah, he did.
I know he did. Well, maybe you're right. Requiem for a Dream.
He was slinging that theatrical dick.
Yep.
Anyhow,
That
Darren
fucking movie.
Aronofsky's amazing, and what he did is he made it mythical, man. He was like talking, like it opens up and it discusses the angels, and like the angels are these giant like rock beasts with flames and shit coming out So he turned it into the fairy tale that it is. He made it into like a Lord of the Rings sort of situation, which leaves me to think, what if that shit took place in another, well, possibly another dimension, or before our time? Like, this is not the first,
Well,
first run of man.
it did, because this is the second run of man, I think.
Possibly.
No, in the Bible,
no.
God got pissed
Yeah.
and he drowned everybody.
Well, yeah.
He killed everybody. God.
No, he killed all the people.
God does
except for Homeboy's family.
No,
Noah's family.
God does a lot of fucked up shit. Okay, he does. So did Jesus.
Supposedly.
No. It's in the Bible.
But supposedly, we don't know if the Bible was true. So God.
Well, no. Well,
God
As far
supposedly.
as somebody's beliefs,
as far as the Bible
he
goes,
did some messed up things, right?
God did some messed up things. Jesus was really fucking rude. You know what he did? He went inside the church because they were doing some business inside the church. Dude, he started flipping tables, throwing foods. He got a whip and made everybody his bitch. Jesus did that. This is the
Yeah, but they were Jews, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's besides the point. That's besides the point.
Oh shit!
But he started whipping everybody.
I don't mean that.
I
Yes,
do.
he does.
All my Jewish friends and bandmates. I don't mean that. You know that.
My
Yeah.
brother's Jewish, so sorry, Carl.
So, God just, he whitewashed everything, and cleaned the whole slate, and, so it's the second run of man,
What kind of
That's a
shitty God has to fucking do a mulligan on his own creation? What shitty God fucking has to be like, you know what? Made him in my image.
You guys seen
So I pulled the rib out of this fucking guy, fucking made a bitch.
You seen the Matrix, right? Everybody's seen the fucking Matrix, right?
Yeah, that
I've
has
never seen the
something-
Matrix actually.
You've never seen the Matrix. Did you see the Animatrix?
No.
Okay, so what they talk about is the renaissance of man and how man has been around for eons and eons,
Right.
billions and billions and billions of years, and it just died off, and then the civilization was crushed and started again. The civilization was crushed and then started again, and that's what I think Darren Aronofsky was trying to do with his tale of Noah's Ark. So, did it happen during something like that? I have no fucking idea, but it didn't. There's no evidence stating that the ark happened in any era of man that we could measure at this point.
And the Matrix has a lot of biblical things. There's a lot of reflections. Like Neo, he was
a ton.
Neo is supposed to be the second coming of their Jesus, so to speak.
He is, and that's why they kept on talking about the new renaissance of man
and him
how
getting
time repeats
crucified
itself.
at the end to give everybody
I
life.
might watch 10 minutes of this movie when I get home and then masturbate.
Well, there's a
Don't
part.
masturbate to Keanu Reeves.
I
Okay?
know.
That's
There's a
fucking
part in there
gross,
where he-
all
No,
right?
I'll kind of
Heavy.
stare off into the distance and fucking think about that one time that
Oh, the machines. Oh, the machines.
I love my fiance. Thank you, honey.
Oh, did you just have a nice memory?
Oh yeah.
Look,
good
the
for you.
table lifted a little bit.
You're giving the aubergine too much credit.
Yeah, remember it's an underdeveloped.
All right, this isn't a
clitoris.
stromboli, it's a brajol. If it was a stromboli, the table lift.
No, it's a fucking gnocchi.
And I wouldn't be doing this
It's a
show.
gnocchi.
Oh, you fucking white people don't know what we're talking about now.
Enzo's in the house.
The Italians know it's fucking crack-a-lacking. Get out the fucking potato dumplings. Fuck the Chinaman. Get that soy sauce out of my kitchen. You fucking kids. So, I got sponsorship finally. And,
From who?
from
Vapors?
Fisher Price.
Fisher Price.
Fisher Price. And
Fisher
it's,
Price.
they're
We're not doing any trademark infringements. It's
They're-
Fisher Price.
They're a children's toy company, and they wanted to put a little ad on here, and I made a little bit of dough, and we're gonna put that on and see how the kids feel.
Now for these important messages.
Hey kids, do you ever wonder what that tingly feeling is in your private area? It's your primordial calling. You don't have to shelter your sexuality any longer thanks to Fisher Price My First Sex Toy. It's a line of toys made specifically for the sexual pleasure of kids of all ages. Made of space-age hydrogen-bonded rubber alloys and free particle dark matter from a failed moon mining mission, Fisher Price My First Sex Toy is built to last. Stop pulling on your wee-wee and encase it in Fisher Price's My First Pocket Pussy. It's made for little hands and ding-dongs, providing you a secure fit. And saying that you're too young to ejaculate, clean up is a breeze. Disinfectant spray not included. Hey Susie, stop slamming your tiny little beaver on the water jet in the pool and check out Fisher Price's Kids Pink Poker. It's a generously proportioned phallus made for kids age 5 and up. It comes with an emergency release valve which secretes a lubricant for easy removal. Also check out My First Butt Plug, My First Ball Gag, My First Rubber Fist, and the whole collection at www.babypenis.fart. Look for a manufacturer's coupon in the Why Are You Doing This tab. Sure, you can shield your children from the fact that one day they will suck dick and fuck like it's going out of fashion, but you're only wasting valuable time. In this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, we have to be open and honest about our seething biological urges. Don't let your kid become confused or suppressed. You don't want your daughter getting pregnant at 16 because she finally realizes what she's been missing out on the whole time. And you don't want your son being the unlucky sperm donor bringing another worthless life into this world. Visit us at www.babypenis.fart and get your coupon for Fisher Price My First Sex Toy today. Fisher Price. If we didn't do it first, your neighbor probably would have. And that's disgusting. Wow. How much am I getting paid for this? I didn't get into radio for this. Oh, no, that's fine. That much money's fine. Now legal in 3 states.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna get on that mailing list for Fisher Price.
Yeah, I don't know if Florida's a legal state for it. But yeah, that was the advertisement from
So
Fisher Price.
you're just priming South Florida. You're priming South Florida for.
If there's a market for it, if enough toothless hillbillies in the north are like, I'm tired of my daughter taking my tools and shoving them in her front butt. I'm sick of this shit. My screwdriver smells like
Her
a little
front butt.
tiny pussy. And if you know anything about kids, it smells awful. Kids smell terrible. So back to religion. What are your thoughts on religion? Enough about tiny
As
cunts.
generic as it is, like everybody else that I know, I think they all say, "Well, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual." And I don't know if I'm spiritual. I think I like to think that I'm logical. I have no fucking idea what's out there. I don't pretend to, but I have my belief system, and I
Right,
think that it
right.
follows the closest path to righteousness that I can. Not that I'm fucking righteous by any means,
Right.
but I think don't kill people. Yeah, I don't do that. Try to be respectful of other people. I try to do that. I'm not. I don't think that. I think that organized religion, as we know it, is going to go through a dramatic change in the next 20 years. Like, going to go somewhere completely different. The Catholic Church was almost all but fucking deleted
Right.
until this Pope showed up, which I think might be one of the greatest marketing campaigns ever. But that dude is awesome. Anybody that's like to lepers, anybody that's doing that, I got to take my hat off to.
No, he's either a great actor or the real deal.
He's either the greatest actor, and this is the greatest ploy to get people to go back to the Catholic Church, or he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and you kind of like part of me likes to think
I gotta
the best
chime
of
in on
people.
this.
Okay, God.
He's fucking Argentine.
God wears a white shirt, as everybody just saw.
Yes, he's fucking Argentine too. The first thing he said when he
Got into the church.
Goal!
That's the second thing he said. The first thing he
God
said
damn it!
was Parrillada Argentina en el Vaticano, which means Argentine barbecue in the Vatican Sundays.
Fuck yeah!
he did say that. And Argentines are known for their fucking barbecue. They do barbecue better than the black people.
Nah, man.
And
Nah,
they're
man.
big on Italian food. Because it's like Italian and Germans mixed together. You got an Argentine.
All right, I'm interjecting. We have another show that we just started. It's called Rock the Fork.
Oh.
And
Really?
all right, and Rock the Fork is where Parker, Ty, and I get together. We might have a guest.
I would like
And
to
we
eat
fucking get
something.
samplings of different food, whether it's from local
I would like to
restaurants or
eat
shit
that.
that we make ourselves. And we sit here and eat it and critique it. So if you want to eat your friend's food and make them feel bad about it, it's a perfect outlet for it. Like Parker will be like, dude, I worked all days on these meatballs. It's like, hey, you should have kept working. You fucking bring me this shit.
I was actually gonna say I was gonna bring on my wife's tacos, and now yeah, the bad idea.
Did Parker come back?
No, he left.
Nah.
He's not coming.
Now, I never met Parker, and I'm
Someone,
saying it like
someone
I know
hurt
the
his
guy. Hey, did Parker
feelings.
come back?
The thing is, the kid's real sensitive. You hurt his feelings, he goes home.
Did you punch him in the balls?
No, I sat on his lap. That might have.
Confused him.
That
Yes.
didn't hurt his feelings.
No.
It confused him.
It gave him
confused his
feelings.
emotions.
It probably took
He
away
didn't
his
know how to
masculinity.
feel about that, and he had to split.
It probably took away his masculinity somehow.
So, in your spiritual journey, have you ever turned to like psychedelics or cannabis to kind of take you to a certain place, or like?
All right, real quick. This is not going to be real quick, but I like to preface this with that, just so everybody will pay attention for a second. I was raised Roman Catholic. I quit
Me too.
being Roman Catholic in my early teens, right before confirmation, and I decided to take up Satanism, and that was stupid. And then I decided to try yoga, not the twist your body yoga, but the more spiritual side of yoga.
Right, right.
That was interesting. Wicca, that was interesting.
Wow.
I went on and then I found Zen Buddhism and stuff like that, and I read as much as I could stand to. Who the fuck wants to read all that silly crap anyhow? And then what I came up with is what is honest and feels right for me, and science has always felt right for me because there's facts, there's something to back it all up. So my spirituality is kind of rooted in science, where people will say, there's nothing, like atheists. There's nothing. You don't fucking know that. Don't say anything as a matter of fact.
So
man.
true, dude.
Don't say.
So true.
Don't say that this is it about anything, except for you're going to be fucking dead in a ditch someday. That's the only permanent.
Absolutely, and that's one of I am actually ordained, and the name of the church. They asked me what the name of my church is. The Church of I Don't Know, and neither do you. And it was more or less something that I wanted to start as a think tank, because I went through the same thing. I was Roman Catholic till I was 8, because I got my knuckles bashed in for questioning Easter. I thought Easter was a bogus story, so I fucking told the nun, I go, wait a minute. How come nothing's happened in 2,000 years? How come God and everything, there's all this presence, and it's fucking, all of a sudden we have to believe all this shit, but nothing happens remotely close to any of these stories anymore. I see baseball games, I see people at the park, I see people eating food, I see my TV, but I don't see sky people, and I've never seen an angel. I've seen rainbows, and I've seen sharks at the fucking aquarium. I know certain things are real, certain things present themselves, and even anomalies. That was the argument I was having with the girl in here, the hardcore Christians. I'm like, there's anomalies. There's things we cannot explain.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that Jesus or any other anthropomorphic God being has anything to do with it. It just means we don't fucking know. It's things are miraculous, but to call them a miracle is a huge fucking leap of presumptuousness that I think is unnecessary, and it's kind of arrogant.
But
completely arrogant.
But that's the thing. It's what they believe. I mean, everybody has their opinion. It's like an asshole. Everybody
From
has one.
God's lips,
Now here's the thing.
which is
If
his
they want
asshole.
to believe in me, fine. If you want to give me credit for bringing down the Malaysian plane that had the cure for AIDS and all that, fine. If you want to blame me for, I don't know, your pet dog dying, or your daughter getting crushed by a fucking ice cream truck.
The best
That's
comfort
fine.
and the best scapegoat.
Exactly. But you know what?
Like
they know-
cheesecake.
Oh God, fucking that's something I could worship.
God fucking cheesecake? What? I've never had cheesecake.
What?
Ever?
Yeah.
In your entire existence.
The only cheesecake that I've had, it was not regular cheesecake. It was deep fried cheesecake over at
my
Monroe's.
Fucking God.
That shit was orgasmic.
Yeah, fried cheesecake is the shit.
The fucking Mexicans do it right.
I bless those
The fried
Mexicans who did it.
cheesecake at Rosalita's. Holy shit.
They got
I've
it at
never had it.
Rosalita's.
I've never had it.
Rosalita's is fucking garbage as far as Mexican food, but whatever they deep fry their ice cream and their fucking cheesecake in is brilliant. Whatever fucking
Dude, I gotta take you to Monroe's.
whatever Haitian made that recipe and made it at that fucking Mexican
Not
restaurant.
to be a jerk off, because I'm from Florida, and everybody from Florida is from New York, but New York has the greatest cheesecake on the fucking planet.
Oh God, Juniors.
No, it's fucking shocking, and it slaps you in the mouth. It's light and it's the best. I don't even have the vocabulary to express how delicious it is.
Crumulent.
No.
I think it's kind of.
Pick another word.
Angelic,
No, pick another word. I don't like that one.
brilliant.
I don't like it.
A
You
revelation.
guys are boring the shit out of me with your fucking vocab. All right, move on.
I'm sorry that my perspicacity isn't up to fucking speed.
Sorry, I only got a 400 on the SAT.
Oh wait, where's my 10 cents? I gotta.
I'm
give that
sorry
to
I'm
you.
not being completely grandiloquent right now.
10 cents every time, man. Every time.
Grandiose, huh?
I don't even know what those words mean. I just know I saw them in fucking English in
I
college.
read them once, and they remind me of good things.
I just remember people took me serious at the bank when I said them fancy words with 5 syllables. See, my feelings like with religion was like I went into Satanism right after Catholicism. And then fucking from there I realized that I fucking hated being completely selfish and also killing myself by eating a lot of food, jerking off all the time, and doing drugs. So then I got into Buddhism. And then I was like, Buddhism's pussy shit. And I'm like, it doesn't explain any reason for like truly bad shit in the world. I'm like,
Oh, Taoism. I did Taoism for a little bit too.
then I got into Abraxas and like Charles Manson's fucking like his version of Satanism where there's like the duality and like the ancient gods and like Dionysus, like that kind of shit. I went to a Gnostic mass and fucking never laughed harder in my life. The Aleister Crowley followers. They fucking had a guy come out of a sarcophagus with a fucking sword and a pair of panties on, fucking screaming in the middle of a bookstore, and fucking a naked chick
Where
on
did
an
this
altar
happen?
at fucking Hands of Time on Village Boulevard in West Palm Beach, fucking like 7 years ago. And it was, yeah, it was a fucking New Age store, and they closed it down at night. They let these people have their mass there, and I fucking see a sarcophagus. I'm like, this is a serious ass hippie shop. They got a fucking sarcophagus over here. So we sit down for the fucking mass, and fucking my buddy was really into it at the time, and he's like, bro, this is the real deal. This is real spirituality. This is for like the top tier people, and it's basically like Aleister Crowley's manifesto of the New World Order. Right. And so we're sitting there, and this woman's fucking speaking, and then all of a sudden the sarcophagus busts open. There's this fucking tan dude with a sword, with a headdress, makeup on, the fucking little Egyptian panties that men wore, and he starts screaming and talking in some fucking different language, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. So I couldn't hold it in anymore. They're all going, and I just start fucking laughing. I'm rolling, and my friend like looks at me like, dude, the Pharaoh's out right now. What the fuck? And I'm just like, that's why I'm laughing, because the fucking Pharaoh's out. There's the fucking Pharaoh. I didn't know he was going to be here. I thought he was still in Aladdin. I'm like, when does the genie come out? Does it come out of the naked woman on the altar's pussy? So I finally had my last straw of this thing when they fucking had us do a communion, which is the reason I got out of Catholicism. The fucking cakes were black. Black cakes. And it's supposed to represent the ashes of dead children. And the fucking wine was supposed to be the blood of the poor or some shit. And I was just like, I am the poor. I had no money at the time. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm like, I couldn't take this shit. So at that time, I was like, Buddhism's still straight compared to this other shit. And then I started fucking doing like shamanic hallucinogens, like ayahuasca, Amanita muscaria, Amanita pantherina, fucking like sucking on the Hawaiian baby Wizroad seeds and shit. And I got into it like heavy. And then I fucking, through all my ayahuasca and Amanita trips, which were all profound in their own way, and I have a lot of stories about that shit. Too much to fucking even like start. Like that would be an episode in its own.
Yeah, I got microdot stories. So.
But like I fucking realized one day I was listening to the Bhagavad Gita, the audiobook, and I'm like, this is the same shit that I fucking came up with in my head when I was on DMT. And then I fucking listened to it again, and then I read it, and then I read it 3 times, and then I listened to it again, and I'm like, these motherfucking Pakistanis, it's just like the 7-Eleven. They got to God first. I was like, they got the Dunkin' Donuts, they got the 7-Eleven. I'm like, these Pakistani fucks had it right. I'm like, and I don't believe in like the avatars and the fucking mythology of it, but I believe in the principles. Like everything happens for a reason, and I had 3 out-of-body
Wait,
experiences.
you still believe in everything happens for a reason?
Even the most fucking bizarre, fucked up shit, even the horrible shit that happens to me, I feel like there's some sort of like fucking pendulum that swings that is so beyond our scale of our temporal existence in this one lifetime that we don't even understand like how we fucking like. And this is just my thought. Do I really fucking look at a kid dying of cancer and be like, oh, you must have been a real shithead in your past life, you know? Oh, you must have been fucking Stalin. Bye bye, little fucker. No, I'm not like that. I have compassion for people. It's just my thought. It makes me think of all the shit that's happened to me that was horrific or horrible shit that's happened, and like go, maybe I was a dick like that to someone. Maybe because in this lifetime I haven't done certain things to other people that did shit to me.
So you believe in multiple lifetimes?
Yeah, well, the reason is personal experience. I've had 3 out-of-body experiences in one night when I overdosed on Amanita Muscaria. I ate 12
You understand
grams
that you're
of it.
saying that you overdosed on a narcotic that fucked up your brain, and now you're saying that that's what's real.
Well,
I'm just saying.
absolutely.
Okay,
All right.
I just wanted to set the ground. I just wanted to
And
make sure that.
DMT is the chemical that induces your dreams.
Okay. All
And
right.
it's what floods in your head when you pass away.
Okay. All right.
Now, the thing with the Amanitas, the Amanitas just fucking straight up poison. Like,
Yeah.
this was
You're
different.
killing yourself.
So, they call it tripping with death. And in Peru and shit, Siberia, they do fucking these rituals and shit. They make people eat like 14 grams and they have seizures. And they say if you die, it's because you're not pure of heart. If you live, like fucking, you're going to be all right. So I'd done like smaller doses and had some really fucking crazy like deja vu psychic moments. And I never experienced that in my life. I was like a super skeptic. James Randi fan all the way. Fucking Penn and Teller bullshit. Like, this shit's all bullshit. That's why I like Buddhism. Buddhism is just kind of a way to be, not mysticism. That's why I gravitated towards that for such a long time. But when I fucking went out of my body, poisoned on these fucking things, I went from the worst pain of my life to just fucking being consciousness and looking down at myself, and I was turning blue, and my ex was beating on my chest, going, wake up, wake the fuck up. And I'm going to call campus security. And I'm like looking at her going, why is she freaking out? I'm like, I'm fine. Then I'm like, realize I'm looking at myself. You never get to look at yourself unless it's in a mirror or a piece of glass. You will never in your
Or
life
TV.
pull your eyeballs out of your head and look at yourself. So I realized I saw my big fat body on the floor, fucking sweating. I shit my pants several times, puked on myself in front of Schroeder from the Peanuts. Like it was a fucking night, all right? And I fucking realized I wasn't in pain. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dead. Well, I didn't feel panicked because I didn't feel shitty. And I'm like, if this is what death is, I'm like, fuck, I don't really like the girl that much. And fucking nothing was really going that great. So I was like, fuck it. And then I felt, like, when you think something, you don't hear it, but you hear it. I fucking heard, and it wasn't like a fucking grandiose voice or anything crazy. It's like, you're not going to die. Just like a normal fucking, like, you're not going to die.
In your dad's voice.
And, like, so I'm like, I guess I'm not going to die, or I might. I was just like, I just figured I'd just see what happens. I wasn't, like, freaking out. And that was the weirdest thing, was the serenity in that moment. And it was, like, unexplained. It was just kind of like, maybe that's part of the temporality of life, is to feel those ups and downs and that attachment. And maybe when you leave your body, you leave your brain, and you're just consciousness, and you don't have those wires to worry about that make you feel that. You're not tied into the primate that you are. You know what I mean? And, like, maybe that's why I was so calm, because I'm like, oh, shit, I'm back here. But anyhow, I go back in, and as soon as I go back in my body, the worst fucking pain ever, all right? The worst fucking pain. Back, and I'm shitting myself, still puking. And I went out 2 more times, but both times I was like, whatever came to me. Nothing else said anything, or there was no other. I was like, I guess I'm not going to die. So I just was kind of just chilling. It was the most blasé I've ever fucking thought in my life. Like, the most, like I was dying on the floor. Even if I was just hallucinating it, like, that you figure on that much drugs, you'd be freaking out. I'm going to fucking die, like. I've done it on other drugs thinking I'm gonna fucking die. Cocaine. I fucking sat there for nights going, this is it, darling.
I'm gone.
Holding my elbows and shit, fucking, because I think my heart's gonna fly out of my chest. Stay in there, motherfucker.
That's what happened last time I did LSD.
Yep.
I did liquid LSD, and I never had a bad trip. And the last time I did it, I was 21 years old. A buddy of mine gave me a handful. You know who you are, John. And gave me a handful of it after another buddy of mine had splatted some on my back.
Oh.
And I was having a good time, and it was all fun and games, and then I forgot how to breathe. I don't know how you do that, but I managed to talk myself into thinking that I forgot how to breathe, and that was it. I was like, you know what, I'm done, fucking done with hallucinogenics. I'm not playing with them. You know, I'm done.
See, even that experience, I was so grateful for. Because the next day,
I don't think
felt
that could
so
be a
good.
trick of the mind, though.
Oh, totally. But to me,
Not that I'm trying to like question your belief systems, or that's a fucking mess you just made down there, man.
Jesus Christ,
What is that? What'd you do?
I think headphones just jumped out at me. But the thing is though, like that's why I say I don't know, and neither do you. It's
don't know,
in
you
other
don't.
words, my personal experience leads me to believe this, and this, but I don't want you to follow it. I don't fucking care if you believe me. I just think when large groups of people get together for anything, it's a fucking disaster for the most part.
Concerts are awesome.
Some of them, but then other times there's rape and fucking people are getting murdered. It depends on which group of assholes you get together.
Well, that also happens in cities on a daily. So
Absolutely.
no,
But-
you're right. I mean, large groups of
It's
people.
the primate in us. We just fucking can't fucking help being animals to each other. Because if we were really all like super spirit evolved, like we would finally have grown out of this shit.
No, we're not all. And there's a lot of people that are de-evolving on a daily basis.
And it's sad because like we have this height of technology, and people use it for the most absurd, stupid shit. They do. Like fucking people can be
Facebook.
filling their heads with fucking real ideas and going out there and fucking filling their brains with shit that'll like really make them contemplate deeper shit in life. But we watch fucking assholes pour shit on themselves and light themselves on fire. Or World Star. I love World Star videos, but at the end of the day, I fucking kind of look at myself in the mirror and go, "What the fuck is wrong?"
I've
with
never
me?"
seen a World Star video.
I'm like, I sat there and enjoyed watching other human beings acting like fucking animals.
You know, I still don't get. I mean, I saw this like one black kid set his ass on fire, jumping all over the place. What is this fire thing that I've heard so much about?
Did that come and go? Was that like a
what is
a
the
quick
point of
thing,
it?
or
No,
is that
kids are
still
doing
going
new
on?
ones now. Now they're burning themselves with salt and ice and shit.
What?
All right, so okay, so basically,
What's the point of this? Though?
it's so I think it's so people will see them.
Yes. For what happened?
Everybody for some reason. Not us on this show. We don't want it to be seen. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be in some sort of light, it seems like. In our society, mostly. I would say mostly in our society.
Absolutely.
I don't live in any other society, so I can only speak for this society. And
That's fucking weird, man.
and people will do almost anything to be seen. It's about likes and views.
Well, think about how
Basically.
a lot of people came up. We came up fucking watching TV ever since our fucking parents and grandparents in the fucking 50s, 60s. And the thing was, is you had to fucking be on a TV show. And back in the day, like when I was a kid, like fucking dad would bust out the fucking camcorder, the fucking shoulder unit,
Yeah.
and fucking put it down on like a ledge and let me and my brother sit there and make fake newscasts. And then like, we would watch them and crack up once, and then the tape would get fucking porn recorded over it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was like as far as the exposure you could get, unless you fucking were like a child actor since birth. Now you could be like a 40-year-old dude, put a channel up, and a few people fucking hop onto what you're doing. It's like, it's one of the reasons why we do this, is like, what separates, me from any other comic except that they're funny. Like fucking, what separates me and them is, they get the exposure, they go out there and do the damn thing. But now it's like I can make this show, and if fucking the right human being sees it, something could come of it. I don't do it specifically for that reason, but
No, but you're open to the idea of it actually becoming something more than what it already is.
that's the thing, is like fucking it's just a matter of a few clicks.
It's always a
A little bit of fucking technology, some clicks, and then fucking like what it would have took to make a fucking like just a public access show in like 1990.
Yeah, I saw Wayne's World.
You know what I mean? Like, you know the plot.
Yeah, that's it. It's a pain in the ass. It's
Christopher
ridiculous.
Walken comes
It's
back.
a ridiculous commitment, and yeah, it was really, really difficult. Now you don't need it. You need a laptop computer and an internet camera or a computer camera, and then you're in.
It's just become like, my other show, we didn't even have microphones. We just had
You just yelled at the
cameras around the room that had microphones on them,
yelled at the cameras.
and they sounded great. Like we had like really great audio quality.
Why are
and
we
shit.
using microphones?
Because this is the hand we got dealt.
Uh,
My old show had much different production, but my studio had become my room. So, and plus, I like having more than 5 people in the place at any given time too. Like my garage was so small, I was having band practice in there in between podcasts, so I'd have to move all the
toilets,
shit
right?
out. No, it was I Am the Machine.
oh yeah, that's right. What is that still happening? I am the
Nah.
Machine?
Basically, I fucking haven't done anything original.
Yeah, you're just not doing original music right now.
just and I kind of like the hiatus from it because
Take a break.
everyone expected a certain product from the toilets, and I was going so all over the place with like where I was grabbing my influence from that it just people are like, you know, why is this song so poppy, or why is this song almost all black metal and screeching? You know, like everyone wanted to just hear punk riff, death metal riff.
That was
solo.
the thing that I kind of liked.
Goodbye, everybody.
Nuts.
Take it easy, guys.
Have a good one. Take care. Wash your helmet. Pull it back. Pull that foreskin back. Gold bond those balls.
I think that's what I liked about the toilets, though. Is
They
that
go
it
bond their
wasn't?
balls.
It had a lot of hairy nuts on it. That toilet bowl had seen a lot of hairy nuts.
So, what song do you want to play from the beautiful Batman flash drive you brought in?
I don't know.
You want to
why
show
would-
them what you're doing
okay,
now?
You want to show them? Yeah, we can show them what we're doing now. We can show them some Mogira stuff. That's Blood Winds. The name of the song is Blood Winds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on Rock the Mic Radio, we're going to listen to Blood Winds by Mogira. And I'm going to look at this piece of paper.
This is actually not completely produced. Why, you lost my stuff?
I don't know. For some reason it disappeared.
Uh-oh. Isn't she
Don't put porn on it, okay?
lovely?
Yeah, we're happy with the recording, and,
Right.
and we just want to record a single so people can hear what we sounded like, and we're pretty happy with it. But I don't think that this is the finished. I don't think you're gonna hear the finished one because we're the kind of artists like that. You know, I don't know, art faggy sort of thing. You know,
I feel you. It took me, it's the longest I've ever mixed anything was an hour and a half with the Toilets album. Like, I actually sat there and listened to all the songs 3 times to do it. Like, every other thing I mixed is like the first run through. I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. Like, even like death metal, like, had like that punk rock kind of recording
I'm
quality
actually
to it.
the band was started with my buddy Russ and I. It was he was like, I want to do a doom band on Facebook, and I said, count me in. You know, that's not what I do. It's not my music. What I've done, I don't know what the kind of music I do. I've done different kind of music throughout the years. But he was like, let's do it. So when we came to recording, he's sinking his teeth into recording, and I said, man, why don't you run with this? And he's done such a fabulous job with this, man. He really like he's put forth the right effort for it.
That's awesome. While Ty's figuring out our music situation, has your dad ever been in trouble with the law?
Has my father ever been in trouble with the law?
Yes.
I want to say yes. I want to say that he has. I don't know that I would know exactly what it was. I know that it was when we were pretty young. I think it was drugs, but I don't know. Has my father ever?
Yep.
Oh, so you're gonna play Blood Winds now?
Parker's listening to the show. And he's saying, back in the previous show, that when we get back to the area, we're going to put up together. Yeah, that was a mind fuck.
So y'all got a sneak peek at half of Mogera because we're missing a speaker in the studio. Professional radio show. We are missing our speaker.
So my whole band's like, what the fuck?
Where's the
right
rest
now?
of us, bro? Was this a solo thing, bro?
Actually, that was my guitar was missing. My
Oh,
guitar
man.
was missing from that listening.
So it wasn't sabotage, fellas. It was on the up and up. We're really
On the
missing a
up and up.
fucking speaker. Professional radio. But
How does that translate? What do you guys have it running through this thing? How? I mean, why not? Shouldn't that be running direct? I don't understand.
I don't fucking know.
Out of the board, directly into it.
I just talk. If this was a live setup, if we were doing a show with,
right.
I could
Sure.
do all
Tweak,
that.
tweak.
But for doing all this shit, I have no fucking clue. I just know they hand me a microphone and tell me talk on it.
Well, this is our interface right here that we're going into, right?
Probably.
I'm not gonna fuck with it. Sorry.
It's probably.
I get all into it. I'm like, oh, what do you got going on?
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Mogira, half of it, anyhow. And what we're doing, what we're trying to do.
When's your next show?
August 23rd, we will be playing with awesome bands, Ancient Albatross.
Oh shit, Tony's fucking.
And Amplifier Orgy.
Oh yeah.
Down at Archie's West, in I think that's Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be
Any cover or anything?
you know what? It's probably $5 because they do that shit, but I'm unsure. We're playing first, so there's a punk band I heard that was put on the bill, and I'm sorry guys, I don't know your name, but
Thank you, nameless punk band.
but yeah, they're actually headlining the show. And
Oh wow!
We're opening everything up, so there should be nobody there.
Well, one can only hope.
It'll be fucking metal.
Played a lot of empty places. Last night we played Bar Louie on Clematis with the cover band. There's like 18 people in there the whole night.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's nothing better than playing fucking Airplane on bass by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then you get that fucking drunk asshole who goes, bro, that bass line, fucking sweet, bro. And I'm just like,
Yeah, man, I wrote that myself
And
last night.
the most
For you.
painful thing is fucking they make me sing Sober by Tool.
Oh, you
And-
don't like Tool?
Oh, I fucking cannot do Tool. Cannot do Tool.
Bro.
The only
Bro.
thing I've ever liked by Tool was their cover of
Bro.
No Quarter.
Bro.
I can't.
Bro.
I can't. I'd rather listen to Helmet any day.
They're two. It's like oh, I really like cats, and that's my dog. You know, like those are two totally different.
They got
things.
4 legs and they both piss in my house.
They do piss in your house.
Nah, Tool, I just,
They
I
came
couldn't
out in the
s-
same era.
I
guess.
couldn't stand like the singing. I couldn't stand the pentatonic everything. Like I never heard any real minor scales or any like diminished shit. Like I like shit that kind of came from like
Then you gotta listen to their later stuff. I don't know what you've listened to.
I listened to everything up to that album that Schism was on.
Oh, well, that's 2 albums, 3 including the EP.
So, but it's just something like even when like Undertow came out and I just
When Undertow came out, I was like, my friends were like, dude, you gotta listen to this band, they're the best. And I listened to them, and at the time, like Quicksand came out, and I was listening, like I had just repurchased an Agnostic Front album.
Fuck yeah.
You know? So that's where my head, I was bald, and they're like, dude, you gotta listen, Matt, you're gonna love this. And I put it on, and I was like, fuck these guys.
Right.
And then in 1993, I went to Lollapalooza in Orlando.
right.
And Tool, Rage Against the Machine, Primus, Front 242, P-Funk, who else? Alice in Chains. We're all there, dude. And it was, Tool was fucking unbelievable. And it changed the way it changed, now I'm not a big, clean rock or metal guy, and so it changed my perspective on it, and I got to listening to it, and there's I do a lot of interesting stuff, and when I first heard it I was like, this is alt metal, I don't want to have anything to do with it,
That's how I always felt, and I felt it was kind of boring alt metal.
right.
Like I just felt it dragged on. Like if I wanted to hear music drag on back then, Typo Negative was good enough for me. Like I like
couldn't do Typo Negative.
See, so it's-
couldn't do it because my man's voice.
and like that's how I felt about Tool, and it's funny because I could sing Sober very well, but I'm the same thing with Deftones, except I like Deftones, but I could sing their songs. Like they make me do all that shit with the cover band because I could sound like those 2 guys, but it's not even like how I normally sing. I could just ape it to where it sounds
Right,
enough like it that people are like, you sounded just like the guy in that there band on the radio.
Yeah, enough beers and enough decibels, and you know what? Everybody sounds like somebody. I'm not taking anything away from you. You're uber talented.
Please take away from me.
No, you're uber talented, and I'm not saying
Thank
that.
you.
But when you do like cover bands, okay. So my big issue with you being in a fucking cover band is you're in a fucking cover band, dude, and you're taking like these people are taking spots away from. I feel. They're taking spots away from original bands that could be playing because these clubs and club owners and bar owners are just playing regurgitated shit all the time instead of giving some new music the opportunity to
I'm gonna explain
blossom.
why. Go to enough local shows where it's all original bands, and you see people file out for certain bands.
I know.
And the thing is like, you know, when you go to a place like, you know, like Bar Louie, they wouldn't book any bands unless like maybe like an original like fusion band or like some sort of southern rock band or like a Creed sounding band.
Right.
Like they want people to drink at their bar and make them money. So people when they hear "Keep on Rocking Me, Baby" by Steve Miller, which I fucking want to kill myself every time we play it, you know.
I love Steve Miller, I do, and I think there's a place for a lot of these classic rock songs, and I have, you know, there's some nostalgia that's held by these songs, but it's been fucking 30 fucking years. Let it go, and you know what? It's you know what that shows me? It shows me that the people in our society have no interest in progressing as a human being and moving forward. They had to hear those songs and be turned on to those songs, right?
The music in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s were the shit, though. Like, there is good music
Yeah, but
now.
you can't discount the 80s and the 90s.
I love
dude.
the 80s, but the 90s fucking is where I kind of, like, jump off with a lot of things. Like, there's certain...
Wait, how old are you again?
30.
And that's, see, we got a 10-year age gap.
My brother's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I listened to a lot of what he was listening to, and it
What
was
was he listening to?
King Diamond, like, you know...
That's 80s.
Deicide,
80s, 90s,
Cannibal Corpse,
90s.
you know, Black Moon, Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie, Big L,
Those are some 90s stuff.
KRS-One.
KRS-One's the bomb.
You know, I mean, shit, like fucking Shalimar.
No.
All right, not Shalimar. All right, Shalimar. Like,
No, but dude, I get what you're saying, but the 90s was a revolution in music because of where music was. And you weren't living that 80s crap that as heavily as people in their 40s were living. You know, we had to live through a lot of guys looking like girls and ballads, fucking ballads from 1987
ass.
to 1991 was fucking disgusting. And then all of a sudden, these kids from Seattle changed that, and like when Nirvana came out, I was all about them. I thought they were awesome. And then they hit. And when they hit, everybody's like, Nirvana. And I kind of fucked up, man. As a kid, I was like, fuck these guys. Everybody likes them. But I liked them. Why would I say fuck these guys? You know,
Fuck
I liked Pearl Jam. And why was I saying fuck these guys? But I was saying fuck these guys and turning my, you know, Ministry, Psalm 69 up as loud as I can get it, you know, and stuff like that. Which was great. I don't care what anybody says. That industrial movement from the late 80s through the 90s was fantastic, man.
I've always been a fan of songs. I've never been a person to pick a genre or to be like, I like this band. Like, there's certain bands like Cake. I love Cake because
Yeah,
I
they're
listen to every album of theirs and every song on each album, and I appreciate something in it to where I'm like, this song's pretty damn good.
No, they're awesome. They're awesome.
You know, or like, you know, and as cliche as it is,
Not each album, but
you know, the Beatles for the most part. I love the
the
fucking
greatest rock and roll
Beatles.
band that ever existed.
You
It's
know
the
what I-
greatest rock and roll band that
And
ever
all you
existed.
people who talk shit about the Beatles and say the Beatles
are
suck,
assholes.
you just are fucking being contrary.
Half fucking yeah, that's all. That's it. Exactly.
Because I mean, like,
Or you're half retarded.
How can you not fucking like? And it's funny because I know people who say they don't like the Beatles, and then I'll play a song on the acoustic and I'll sing it. They'll be like, "Who was that?" And I'll be like, "It's the Beatles," and they'll be like, "Oh." It's like, yeah, it's not the fucking 10 songs
The
you hear
Beatles,
on radio
the
rotation.
Beatles were the shit. Their songs, their verses consisted of like 5 to 8 chords played. They were fucking amazing. They were an amazing blue. I like Blackbird, bro. That riff is fucking gorgeous. Like Julia, that riff.
Julia's
is
my
fucking gorgeous.
That's my second favorite Beatles song. I Will is my favorite.
That's a great song.
And it's funny because it's so stupid simple. It's like one of my favorites to play, but it's like they mix these jazz chords in as they got like on with like the White Album.
George Harrison was
has some of the best fucking guitar playing. Hands
George
down.
Harrison, dude.
If you can't get down with that, fucking, you need to take the dicks out of your ears. Because fucking seriously,
You got lots of dicks in your ears.
we're gonna put on another commercial. This one is from Time Life, and it's actually the radio goes to the opera. We're gonna actually hear Nirvana and the Beatles.
This is
sung
from
by
Time Life.
yeah by Berticelli Domingo.
No bullshit essay. Time Life presents The Radio Goes Opera, featuring hits from the 60s. Classics from the 70s. Your favorite hits from the 80s. Rockers from the 90s. Your favorites from the 2000s? My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe, if I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. And contemporary hits of today. I came in like a wrecking ball. They never so hard in love. All I wanted to do was break you off. All you ever did was wreck me. You wrecked me. For more information, visit www.babypenis.fart. Time Life, where music comes to die.
Thank you, Time Life, and that's time spelled like the spice. Ha! Ha! Fuck you, Kenny Loggins. Like you're watching this. And thank you to the 10 people watching this at home. We appreciate you greatly.
You're all right. You're aces.
You're aces. And we're soon to be deuces. Because we're going to sit back to back and shit on the floor. So, believe me, you will. So what's your greatest fear in life?
Dude, I have a kid.
It's already happened.
All right. I have a kid. So my greatest fear in life is anything happening to him.
Yes.
That's it. Like that's it. Like okay, so here's bad parenting on my behalf. All right, this happened yesterday.
Okay.
All right, my girl is going to the store, and it was her departure was delayed several times. So I tried to get my son to come into the room and take a nap and maybe turn on the TV and relax and chill and he left the room and I'm reading an article on my phone. I didn't hear my girlfriend leave. It's pretty quiet in the house, so I go, I'm curious. Christina? Grayson? What's going on, And it was silent. So
It's a bad sign with
so
kids.
that's a horrible, horrible sign.
Silence is a bad sign.
So I jump up and my back door is hanging wide open. So like some sort of fucking crime drama tearjerker film, I'm outside my house running around looking for my son, screaming his name, and panic. So on my third pass or fourth pass by my neighbor's, where he comes out, he's smiling at me, happier than a pig in shit, because he had just found the lawnmower. He's like, "Daddy, lawnmower, no touch, lawnmower bad."
Nah.
And so one of my greatest fears was almost realized yesterday. So yeah, my greatest fears, I never had. Now, okay, I know I'm stuttering. I had a problem with death for a little bit. That was a fear. And it was for all the wrong reasons. Now I have a problem with death because I'm going to miss my life with my girl and my son. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
So whenever that happens, hopefully it won't happen until I'm 125. But whenever that happens, that's what I'm gonna, while I'm going, if I have that if I'm stuck in that position,
Right.
That's what I'm gonna be thinking. Like, oh, I wish I could be here longer with you guys to enjoy this longer with you guys. But that's as far as fears go. I don't. Spiders. What do you want? Sharks and spider sharks. Those are the fucking scariest things. on Earth.
Sharknadoes.
I'll take Sharknadoes. I'm not concerned about if they're spider fucking sharks. Then I got a problem.
See, I used to be obsessed with sharks when I was a kid, and it wasn't until I went to the Natural Science Museum in New York, and I went in the exhibit and saw how big a fucking shark was in real life, till I actually had a fear of them. So thanks to the Museum of Natural History in New York, I remember walking in there and there's this giant blue whale. I'm like, that blue whale's fucking big. And so my childhood anxiety kicks in. I'm like, fuck that blue whale. I'm not going to walk too close to this railing in case that thing snaps to life and eats my 7-year-old ass, Because I'm 7. So I'm thinking I've watched Twilight Zone with my mom one night, fucking throwing my head in her boobs when shit's going fucking all wrong. You know what I mean?
I didn't know it was that kind of show. I'm gone.
Don't worry. You're going to be detained by the police outside.
Most likely.
Why are you doing this? No, so we fucking come into the place, and then I see fucking a tiger shark. I'm like, that thing's fucking big and grizzly. And
Fierce
then we
creature.
get to the great white, and I looked up at it, and I said, wow, that could swallow fucking 4 of me at once. And then finally, the mako shark. And to this day, the mako shark is the reason why, I won't get in the water, fucking in the Northeast.
It's a terrifying creature.
It has these fucking giant black soulless eyes, this pointy snout. It's like a missile with jagged fucking barracuda
It's a
teeth.
fucking death machine.
And it's made to do nothing but rip flesh and eat.
That's it.
That's all it's fucking meant to do. It wasn't meant to do anything besides destroy
It's
and
not going
feed.
to philosophize. It's not going to do
It ain't
mathematical
gonna chill.
equations.
It's not gonna have a Heineken with you on the front
It's not
porch.
going to paint a masterpiece. It's going to eat your fucking face.
So when I saw that asshole of the ocean, I was just like, "Fuck this shit." Because when I at that age, I was like, "I want to swim with sharks. I want to, I want to be a marine biologist." That all ended after that fucking. That was when I was and then fucking Indiana Jones is the big shit. I want to be an archaeologist. Then I fucking got locked in the mausoleum for a little bit, and I was like, "Fuck this shit. I don't want to."
They got a rave going on downstairs?
Oh yeah, it sounds sexy down there. Do you feel it? Is it flowing through your Argentinian blood?
Oh yeah, I feel it.
God damn.
Yeah,
Hey.
so I had an encounter with a 10-foot hammerhead shark. Everybody that knows me has heard the story.
Holy shit.
I was swimming out to the reef in Fort Lauderdale on the commercial pier, and my buddy Angelo and I, that was actually the last time I was in the water, really. We were swimming out to the reef, and I saw something dart past me. And I don't know, he had a different experience. He was with me, but he was a little bit off to the side or something. And this fucking hammerhead shark, I'm about 16 feet of water, and this fucking hammerhead shark just comes right on up to me. I could put my fucking foot in its mouth, my fin in its mouth. That's how close it was. And I'm just trying to back away, and it's just like, what's up, dude?
Oh my God.
Doing this. What's up? And I'm trying to, I heard some crazy tale about how you could, if you get to the side of the shark, they can't get to you as fast, or some fucking bullshit. So I'm like, I need to get to the side of this shark, and my snorkel has a little hole in it, so it's taking on all this fucking water, and I can't breathe, and I'm panicking, and I'm like, and it won't leave me the fuck alone. And then I see a hand over here, and I grab it, and it comes off. No, it was my buddy, and we pulled together like two bitches, and like swam tried to make ourselves look real big, and swam back to shore. And when we got to shore, this is the best part. We're telling everybody there's a fucking 10-foot hammerhead shark in the water, and they're like, oh, whatever, you're just trying to scare us. These other dudes are like, oh, it's awesome, we're going to be able to see a 10-foot hammerhead shark. They're going out in their scuba gear and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I just told you there's a fucking 10-foot hammerhead shark, and he wasn't going to leave us alone. Sure as shit, as I'm saying that, fucking dorsal fin comes out 15 feet in front of us in,
right.
5 feet, 4 feet of water. Just bump, bump. Bump, 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 fucking crazy. And everybody's like, all right, we're out of the water. I was like, I'm done, man. And that was it. That was the last time.
I would have been fucking like, no.
No, that's not what you said.
Why don't you go for a little dip? Let's take a little dip. Pesci would have came out of me again. Why don't you go in the fucking water? Like the fucking tough guy you are. Go look at the shark. Tommy, go look at the shark. Spider, go touch the shark. I don't want to touch the shark. Joe, I don't want to touch it.
I thought you said the shark was all right. I thought you said it was all right.
No, go touch the shark.
But
Touch it.
I won't touch it.
So what do you think our society is going to look like in America in 50 years? Because I think it's going to be like the Twilight Zone, the number 12 looks like you, where there's like fucking 10 avatars that we could be, and they give us plastic surgery, and they just try to make us all perfect and happy. Meanwhile, there's like some other class of people like in the world that get to travel to all these amazing places.
I like to hope that our government and the corporations that run it will not succeed, and that the people will stand up, and we might be able to take this nation back and drop the borders and stop being fucking ignorant assholes and start thinking of ourselves as earthlings instead of fucking Americans. American! Roar! No, man, you're a fucking earthling. That's it. First and foremost, earthling. Earthling. No more fucking borders. No more bullshit. No more power struggles. Everybody has a piece of land. That's fantastic. Why don't we fucking look for space? Because that land, we're destroying our habitat too. Just let's throw that in there.
Nationalism's a fucking cancer. And Carlin did one of the best skits on it, where he said fucking, I'm Irish, but national pride is bullshit, because being Irish isn't a skill. And he's like, you should be proud of the things you do to help humanity forward, not because by an accident of birth your parents are both Puerto Rican, and that's like one of the things like in my family that kind of ostracized me from the rest of my family is Sicilian on both sides, and everyone else married Sicilian, fucking everyone's Sicilian. Everyone's real ginzo, fucking, no pasta fajoule, no meat on Friday. Don't be an asshole. And like I'll sit there and order veal, and I'm like, I don't believe this shit. And they'd be like, you fucking sinner.
There aren't too many traditions that are worth a shit.
No, and that's one of the things is like people always like try to back, like, oh, it's tradition. It's like, so what? So what? I was put here on Earth to fucking live, not to, it's like the tattoo thing. It's like, I don't want to be a Xerox copy. I don't want the fucking flash picture on the wall kind of life. I want fucking something. I want my life to be an extension of what's inside of my fucking immortal spirit. That's why, like, on stage doing originals or fucking just spewing fucking words on stage doing comedy and improving and you know, the time I spend with my fiance or the time I spend with my close friends, making like those skits and shit. Like everything's just like an extension of what's inside my heart. And if you could do it on a grand scale, great. But like, there's so many people like that, just like all these fucking wigger jerk offs in fucking South Florida. It's like, dude, like fucking like all these punk rock kids that have to have the mohawk and 50 patches, the fucking goth kids, like all these fucking subdivisions, like Rush subdivisions, like fucking
It's all subdivisions.
I love when Alex Lifeson does that live. I'm like, subdivisions. The
Subdivisions.
best backup vocals ever in a song. But for real, it's like, it's so disgusting how many people think they're expressing themselves, but they're expressing a hackneyed idea at best, you know? Like,
It's okay. So I don't foul anybody for following a trend or following stuff. I really don't. I feel like as a creative person, you have, and I too have a hard time understanding where they're coming from with that. But I don't, you know, okay, I had a mohawk once when I was a kid, 1987, I want to say.
Right.
All right. And here, well, I only had it for like a month, and I'm doing it, right? I'm like spiking the fucking thing, and I'm like spending all this time, and I realized that I had been in the fucking mirror staring at myself for like 15 fucking minutes, and I'm like, this is not fucking punk rock. This isn't punk rock at all. How is staring at yourself in a fucking mirror trying to get your image right punk rock? So I fucking immediately shaved that shit off and started bicking my head. This way, when I didn't have to shave much when I was a kid, but when I started shaving, you know, I just shaved up and just shaved and kept fucking shaving, you know, because that to me was more of a fuck you to how you look. You know, I never took time to put patches on my stuff.
Right,
I did when I was doing the punk thing, but
So he would be the round bald head that Marley was talking about.
I am the bald head that fucking Bob fucking Marley was talking about.
All right, everybody, you might hate us for this, but there's just
You'll never watch this show again.
There's just something that you have to come to terms with as a human being, and it's okay to be wrong.
It is okay to be wrong.
But-
You are allowed to be wrong.
But Bob Marley was an asshole.
He was a racist asshole.
And he was a misogynistic, womanizing piece of shit.
He was not a good person. He was good for what he wanted to be good for.
And
that's not it was not for the gander. It was for the goose.
It was peace for a certain sect of people, which made Bob Marley's music, you know, the music machine that sold his music made it this universal thing, you know, everybody get together and feel all right, but it was exclusionary. And the bottom line is, it's on the same level as Nazi bands, but with a smiley face in front of it and the joint. Like, he didn't, like, you know, but they had songs like Crazy Bald Heads, or we're gonna, like, you know, chant down Babylon, like, you know, Babylon, fucking, it's the white people. It's the fucking corporate structure, and it's like fucking, you know, if you guys don't want that in Jamaica, that's fine. If you want to, like, have your own political shit there, it's like, but, you know.
No, it was you know, his, find this, if you can. I watched a documentary. I was just telling these guys about it. I watched a documentary in the 80s, like 1987. Everything happened in fucking 1987. In 1988, and it was about Bob Marley, and his mother said that he hated the white man. Straight up said that he hated the white man. And that is not the message that they're supposed to be. That's not the message that everybody believes that he's giving. They believe that he's talking about unity, but he's actually just talking about unity for his people. Just like
the slave owners in New York, like the one.
Just like when he just said the Nazi bands like Screwdriver and stuff. Now it's a little bit more hate oriented.
Or our forefathers in this country.
Or our forefathers
because they
in this
said
country.
fucking all men are created equal. They fucking didn't
Except.
mean, they meant all the white guys that shot British guys and killed Indians along with them to steal this land and claim it as their own. They fucking believe that fucking black people need to fucking, you know, fucking taste my heel. Women need to fucking be barefoot and fucking obey their men. Fucking that good old time religion.
Yep.
That good old time religion.
Tradition,
where you
man.
get to
Tradition.
Shut the fuck up and go
Traditions.
cook and fucking let me shove my wrinkly old dick inside of you and make a baby while I go fuck the prettiest slave I have. So, you know what I mean? Like, so fucking all you people that fucking, you know, Bob Marley's music was about peace. It was peace for one people. Fucking Screwdriver's written some, you know, Utopia songs. and they're about fucking white utopia, fucking a white Christmas. It's all disgusting.
Neither one is good.
It's all disgusting. It's all abhorrent, and it's
ridiculous.
It's all primate brain.
Okay, so I said this the other day. I can't remember who I was talking to, but the conversation of race came up, and I said, how the fuck do you foul somebody because of who they were born by or where they were born? How are you gonna? You can't foul a human being because of where they came from.
Absolutely.
How do you do that? It doesn't even make fucking sense. The individuals you can shit on, Groups you can shit on kind of if a group is like a gang or the Nazis.
Right.
Or Bob Marley heads.
Sorry, guys.
Bob Marley's.
I enjoy Bob Marley's racism,
kidding.
though. Fucking white people drive me nuts.
No, but white people. Okay, so white people suck. So there was this debate that was going on about in comic books, they're turning Thor into a woman.
Okay.
All right. So this guy he remarks on my buddy's comment about Thor being a woman and says I actually liked what he said, and I'm paraphrasing. He said that we're at this point right now where it's like this ultra feminist sort of behavior is okay, and where I don't necessarily agree with it, but I like that he said it. And to hate the white man, a white man is okay.
Right.
And everybody says the white man hasn't done anything, but all the diseases that have been cured, through white man science. This nation was founded, and yeah, we came over here and slaughtered, but that's what every conquering nation has ever done throughout history. They have gone in and slaughtered countless indigenous peoples and took the land for themselves. And so because it was, it wasn't that long ago, it was only 200 and change, these people are shitting on the white man who started a country that is, and I'm not saying that I think that people are shitting on the white man. I gotta be clear. I'm not a big fan of the white man and the way the white man acts. I'm really not. But this gentleman made a good, clear point that there are good sides to everybody, and it shouldn't be about the hue of your skin. I don't even like I hate saying black or white or race, because there's no fucking race. There's only human race.
I agree with you.
So you say when. Yeah, I don't want to go on a rant.
That's why you're on this show, is to go on a rant.
I realized that I was monopolizing the microphone.
That's the point of having you on. These people have to look at me every week.
No, I think that people need to stop thinking in black and white, and I mean in the stalest way, and start looking at the gray. Start looking at it's all gray, man. There's not this fucking what's cut and dry. I think I said this earlier. You're gonna die someday. That's cut and dry. That's it. That's one. What's a one
definite?
It's the one thing that you could bank on is you're gonna be dead someday. So, how do you act while you're alive? What do you do?
My biggest problem, and it relates to that, is with like fundamentalist religious people. Not just Christians, but it's usually the Christians that are the most obnoxious.
Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Satanists.
Real fundamentalist Christians fucking think that Africans who aren't introduced to Jesus are still going to go to hell. It's like, what kind of God would put someone in a geographical disadvantage and then fucking fault them for it when they die because they couldn't accept someone they didn't know existed?
Right. So in the Bible, my buddy studied the Bible thoroughly. He was going to seminary school, and in the Bible, I don't want to misquote the Bible or him, but he said that it really doesn't say that at all, and that that's an interpretation that was misinterpreted, that you're going to go to hell if you don't blah blah blah. He said clearly that it states, and you could translate it any way you want, but this is how it translates, is that as soon as Jesus died for everybody's sins, you were already saved. You don't have to go get saved. You don't have to. You just have to be a good person, and you don't even have to be a good person. You could be a bad piece of shit person because Jesus already died for you to be a bad piece of shit person. That's what the Bible translation is supposed to say. Now, is that true? Once again, no.
So to be a good Christian, you could be a Satanist. You just do whatever the fuck you want because Jesus paid the tab.
Jesus paid the tab.
That's fucking beautiful.
Jesus paid the tab, and when we go, that's it.
I know if there's any postal workers watching, they're gonna take this one to the hilt. Hey, if someone's got the tab, fuck it. Brrrr, fucking.
People make me sick.
It's kind of amazing that, like, I can't believe I fucking met another adult today that thought Noah's Ark was a literal story. I mean, like, it was hard to even, like, and, like, the thing is, like, it's hard to even respect someone that can think that. As another adult.
Okay, so start with Adam and Eve. Let's even go back further. Let's start with that. You believe that? You believe that's what happened?
Me and her got into it, and I said, where did black people come from? I was like, because she was black. And I go, where did black people come from? If in
a really bad story to go along with that. A really racist story.
And it's fucking insane to me that, like, I understand there's some people who are Christian that I've met that are like, I try to be Christ-like, but they don't believe all the mythology. And I'm like, all right, but you would really turn the other cheek. So if someone was killing your child, you'd just be like, fuck it. You know, this is the hand of God coming down. This is the God's righteous judgment.
Jesus wouldn't turn a cheek.
Well, Jesus tore shit up, like fucking God was saying before. He was throwing tables over.
He did that.
Raping people.
Yeah.
Giving them that dick. That Messiah dick. It's just floating there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's been a long day.
No Messiah dick. Splitting the Red Sea and shit.
So what song
was Moses.
What song you want to go into next from your collection? It's where Ty comes in as the hero.
Hey God, do you do any fact checking over there?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, fact check this. The story of Sambo. While we're listening to a song. I would say play Perfect Day. This is from 2000. It was when I started getting into electronic soundscapes. Sambo.
That was beautiful. I really wish that I had some fucking mushrooms,
That's where that stems from, man.
and I would really like. I could just imagine myself sitting in my old room, some mushrooms with the visualizer on, and just out of my fucking gourd.
Might have been some old hillbilly redneck wives' tale that I heard.
It had an Aphex Twin kind of vibe to it, like the ambient sessions that
Yeah,
they did.
I purposely didn't put any beats in there.
I've always liked.
Because of the
Sounds-
ambient sense, that ambient album, the tones I was using were reminiscent, I guess. Not similar, but
Yeah, I like either like really ethereal kind of drums in electronic music, or none. Like I like a lot of pad washes and shit like that. Like
my favorite thing now is like an electronic, like really heavy synth with the washes and stuff, and maybe like a Moog, like a heavy Moog bass
okay,
with real blown out drums. Like real, like actual drums, but totally fucking brick walled, blown out.
DJ Shadow did some shit like that,
DJ Shadow did do some stuff like that.
and he was doing that back in like '95.
There's a great band. It's not really electronic, but they do. It's heavy bass, distorted bass, loud drums, really ethereal vocals with keyboards. Called the Out Circuit. Fucking fantastic! Check out the Out Circuit. They are amazing.
That's a real deal endorsement right there. Thank you to Pepsi for the gas. So, what do you think the power structure of our government actually is? Like, do you believe in the fucking dichotomy we have now, or do you think there's like fucking puppet masters and puppets and like?
I like to think that all of those things do exist, because I don't know. Once again, it's about a belief. There's evidence, but there's not enough. There's not enough. There's too many whack jobs on both sides, be it right or left, screaming their points. And there's no real moderate. There's no one sitting in the middle going, no, this is actually what is happening.
The thing that scares me is the public record of the IRS and the Federal Reserve all going back to private owners
No, that's
with the
okay.
Corporation of London.
Yeah.
And to me, the people printing the money are the people that are just above the people who make the food. And I'm not one of the GMO fucking people who says that Monsanto is evil. People,
They are evil as far as being evil capitalists.
yes, exactly.
They are evil as
they're a
being
monopoly.
Here's the scoop, people. I want to fuck your mother for money, and that's what they do. They're like, I will fuck my grandmother for $1. They are evil capitalists, and that's
And they're
that's
damn
what-
good at it.
Right? Are these people, trying to poison the human race, and for mind control purposes? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think so. But no, I think there are corporations that absolutely run our economy, our country, on the highest levels.
And I really think it's sad when people, I think it's sad that people still believe in the Republican candidate and the Democrat candidate.
Same dude.
And the thing is like, I feel like if there's a private bank printing the money and then a private company taking the revenue, the IRS, something tells me that there has to be a puppet master, and then we get puppets as the presidents. We get, everything's a choice. We have Pepsi, and then we have Coke. We have Gibson
Clearly, I
and Fender.
chose properly.
Gibson and Fender. We have fucking Nike or Reebok, and it's whatever's in fashion at the time. And it's like that with candidates. Fucking, you have enough of the Republican. Fucking, you're pissed off about shit. You're voting for the Democrat next time. There's people who are hard up and believe the bullshit that they say on both sides, even though no one comes through on their promises. Those people are usually fundamentalist Christians or fucking super liberal whack jobs that like fucking would suck Obama's dick after he made a bunch of fucking decisions that are in line with a GOP candidate.
Okay, so I have people in that I'm very close with that are very, very much into Obama and what he's done, and say that he, there's a lot of stuff that he couldn't avoid doing, and blah blah blah. And I'm not anti-Obama. I voted for Obama twice. You know why? Because I didn't have anybody else to fucking vote for. Wasn't given anybody that really I could vote for. So instead of having these other two clowns that they thought would be good candidates run the country, I voted for the lesser of two evils. First time I voted for him because he was black, because I wanted to make a statement with the United States to the world that, hey man, we're not that ass backwards. But at the end of the day, dude didn't step up like the asshole that was president before him and do whatever the fuck he wanted. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Bush didn't do anything, and he was a puppet." Like, that's fine. He's a puppet, whatever. But at least when he said, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and Congress was like, "No," he fucking did it anyhow. So if we had somebody with that kind of audacity that was doing it for the betterment of the country instead of for their pockets, that would have blown my mind. And that's what I thought Obama might do. But as soon as he got in, he was bought by the banks.
See, to me, what wrestling did was they just mirrored wrestling. What like the government did is they mirrored wrestling. And what I mean by that is like fucking Clinton was fucking Dusty Rhodes. Fucking some hootenanny hillbilly that came in. He's like, I'm going to fix the fucking economy's going to be great. I'm going to get a blowjob. Fucking stick a cigar up someone's cunt. He was just in there having fun, throwing the elbow, fucking saying crazy shit, playing saxophone with Arsenio.
Love you, Clinton.
And then fucking Clinton bounces, and then the next champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, which we got as George W. Bush. He came in there, he's like, someone did something bad to me, so I'm going to go beat the shit out of him. But that wasn't the guy. I don't give a shit, he looks like him. And then he goes and he fucking blows up fucking the Middle East, as we did. And Clinton ordered a lot of strikes to the Middle East, and then we got The Rock, Barack Obama. Came in here like black
fucking
Superman.
Superstar, yeah.
And he's like, comes in here, he's like, I'm going to get the troops out of Afghanistan within my first year.
We're going to close down Guantanamo. We're going to... All false fucking bullshit. And now he's doing things, but it's taken 8 fucking years. It shouldn't take any president 8 years to do. So I got this new reform that I keep thinking about, like, the American people should step up and do for the government. I think we should reform the government. I don't think you should be able to be a career politician. I think you should only be able to do in any office, any one office, 2 years service, and then after those 2 years, you cannot repeat in that office, no matter what that office is. As president, you can do 4 years. I think maybe you should be able to do another term. But I'm kind of because if you can't get it fucking done in 4 years, you're not worth a shit.
They could probably get it done in the last 2 years of their first 2 years, because if the other, if the people in Congress can only serve 2 years and they don't help,
right?
So once they're out, the president can cross his fingers. I hope the motherfuckers can get in.
I posted today on Facebook that there was somebody put this thing up. Why take away the congressman's pay because blah blah blah, fire all the congressmen, whatever, they're paid too much. Well, they are. Why are policemen, the fire and rescue paid, they start out at like 35. These clowns are making $127,000 a year to not vote. They make up to $380,000 or $300,000 a year, $280,000 a year, these people. To not vote, to not do anything,
to be incompetent,
to be incompetent, right? And these are career politicians. These are people that we got to think about what we're doing. We're putting lawyers in charge of so not to take anything away from good people that become lawyers to uphold the law and to be part of the justice system.
Big ups to Sam Winnicott.
Right. Not to take anything away from them, but there are people that are just fucking scumbags and have created this legalese and this jargon that you and I can't possibly comprehend without proper schooling. But we're laymen. We're street people. We're not supposed to. So they created this language and this bullshit to cut all the corners. So no, these fucking people are running our country. These liars are running our country. Absolutely not. 2 years maximum, any office. That's it. Governor, mayor, fucking any of that.
I love it. You know, I agree with that, but I also kind of fucking would love to see the end of this democracy bullshit, unless it's a fucking real deal democracy. I don't want a representative.
Well, that's because we live in a republic, not a real democracy.
If we lived in a real republic, though, a republic would protect the rights of one dude against everyone else, and what we do is pretty much mob rules.
Oh, it is mob rules.
And so to me, that's what really pisses me off is like, I believe if someone wants to be a junkie, they should be allowed to be a junkie. But if you fuck with anyone else's ride, then you fucking, you get what's coming to you.
Yeah,
I feel like
I see where you're coming from.
we have too many restrictions for a republic. I feel like, we live in like some sort of like watered down 1984.
Okay,
like
so
severely watered down, but
there's a lot of reasons behind that, and I think one of our main, and a lot of people, I don't know if anybody really agrees with this, but I think our main issue is capitalism is a failed experiment. It becomes corporatism, and these corporations have control over, like, once again, they have so much money, so much power that they actually control the government and the people that become our political candidates because they're pushing their candidacy. They're behind them fiscally. So how do we stop that from happening? How do we stop the lobbyists? How do we stop? Well, we only give each person 2 years in office. And then they're real civil fucking servants. And they're not oh, well, you know what I'm going to do for a living? I'm going to be a fucking congressman and live off the fat of the land and then get paid for all these benefits for the rest of my fucking life. For what? Civil servants? You're a civil fucking servant. You're supposed to be volunteering yourself. That's what, actually, I want to say that it was Franklin. But I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong about this. I apologize. But I think it was Ben Franklin or Thomas Jefferson. One of those two cats said that government service should be on a volunteer basis, which means you should not get fucking paid for it.
Well, that would be the quickest road to corruption. And like and the bottom line though is it's like churches figured out how to make money and dupe people, and the government just got into to that old time religion.
Well, they follow it. That's part of their shit.
And they funnel so much money. Like, I don't understand how we do any foreign aid when things are so fucking.
Our foreign aid that we do
here.
really needs to be looked at differently. I think that foreign aid's a good thing because, once again, that slowly starts to bring down the borders. I think if we're doing it for the wrong purposes, if we're doing it to have a foothold in that country, if we're doing it to have some sort of brethren with some other country, some other relationship with the country, I don't think that that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea just to help people, not for ulterior motives.
But they know that the USA is all about one thing. Fucking the Geetus, getting that fucking money. That's all they're in here for.
Dollar bills, y'all.
And that's all that the fucking government cares about. It's like fucking... And all the countries that won't fold into the UN are the countries that, we're going to go to war with North Korea, Jordan, like fucking... All the fucking Egypt's fucking going crazy. It's like, the one thing I really liked about Ron Paul is like fucking, I agree, fucking put the focus at home. Fucking, if we're fucking you can't fucking, it's like, how are you going to help a junkie when you're a junkie? You know what I mean? Fucking, you're going to kill each other. You're going to fucking destroy each other. Because fucking, someone's got to fucking be standing to fucking help someone. You can't help someone up if you're on the ground next to them. Yep. So that's the fucking real problem that I see with the whole thing is like fucking, we fucking dropped out of the top 15 in every fucking subject in school, except probably physical education.
On everything, we've dropped out. We are 15 and below on any kind of standard. Anything you look at, the United States is not number one at anything except for, probably Violence, yeah, probably.
Porn. Yeah. Fucking, it's just out of control. But
God, are you watching porn? Are you watching porn, God? Oh, you are.
So we're gonna leave you with this. I got a handle on a new freestyle that Lil Wayne just put out, and I guess he's gay. I guess he really is gay, and
He came out of the closet.
he's professing his love for penis. And
Wait, he really came out of the closet, huh?
yep, this is Lil Wayne. That's spelled with Little. Lil Wayne. And this is his new freestyle.
Does he have a little wang?
Time will tell. The sex tape's coming out sometime soon.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much, dude. It's been a fucking blast, dude.
Y'all niggas didn't think I'd come back, but I came back on a motherfucking rim.
Check out Mogera, motherfuckers. Peace.
They didn't see me fly.
Enjoy this shit.
On a unicorn named Perseus. He's a flying horse, dog. Shit. They be saying y'all should fuck some chicks. I'm like, nigga, where the fuck are the dicks? I wanna sit on them, get fucked in my ass, because I like nothing better than catching the semen blast. They wanna put it in my mouth. I'm like, okay. And then if I'm a good girl, I get some cocaine. I like it, I love it. The niggas wanna fucking bury dick inside me. Fuck it, let me get your whole nigga. What you saying? I'm only coming at the semen, the spraying. I'm saying I wanna take you deep in my throat, because I'm a fucking gay ass nigga. I wanna choke, like, let me get that whole sucker. I wanna fucking feel your baby butter all over me, cause that's what I'm going for. I'm a sick ass trick, only fucking with big niggas. Fuck your puny ass dick. Like, let me get that hoe, boy. 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 Let me get that hoe. Oh, them girls wanna see it, but I'm like, hell no. I'm like, I'm keeping the shit for real niggas is talk. They didn't fucking know on the streets that I fucking be like lifting my feet. Lift your ball sack, nigga. I'm fucking your ass. Okay, baby, I take you to class. Let me get that hoe, nigga. 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 Let me get that hoe, Wayne, easy. They see me getting queasy. Get that pussy away from me. I'm only fucking with real ass G's. Take me in the bathroom at the park after dark, and fucking let me see if that romance will spark. I only wanna fuck on a higher level. I wanna fucking suck Satan's dick. I fuck the devil. Yeah, they call me pieces because I'm like the cocksucking Jesus. Rip me down off the cross, name it 3 times. Bitch, call me divine. Yeah, take that shit, nigga. Take that shit. I be moaning and groaning. Like this. Especially when your shaft be show, nigga. Wayne, 2014. Caught my new record. Let me get that hold on. Peace. Yo, 2014 got the mixtape. This should be real in the street. Fire! Fire! Woo! It's like they told me. Yeah. Be a good hot man. Cash money, ass money. Just stay in the back. Cash money, ass money. Ill sometimes. Cash money, ass money. I wish people hire me from their birthday parties and bar mitzvahs. We out. I want to be a rapper one day, but now the still words out. Yeah. Get 'em, Wayne. People like our music because it takes talent and shit. I did this in 5 minutes. So, oh my God, what did you guys think of the record? Oh my God, what did you think of the recording? Man, I don't know. They just told me be a good hot man. Just sit in the back, yell sometimes, say the words that the man had said. Just say some things, do something. Bring a drink in the room. You know, would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? Roll a blunt, roll a blunt. And these niggas was like, well, what'd you think of the vocal performance? where, you know, I thought it was good. You know, Wayno was killing it with that freestyle. You know, he always up on that, you know, the cerebral cuff of, you know, he's like a lynx in the jungle, and, you know, you see him coming, and the next thing you know, you are the meal for the big cat, because he be coming with that real shit that people can't understand. It's like some people don't understand. Sometimes you take a dick because you a fucking man, dog. You know, but I'm just trying to be a good hot man, just trying to say the things that he had said already and reiterate how amazing he is. He is a vocal lyricist genius. His vocabulary is unmatched, and the perspicacity, is fortuitousness, is just something that you can't fuck with as a man, as another performer. It's just like some next level shit. It's like he's like an alien, and I'm a people. I'm glad you liked it. Your boy should come more often to the studio. Yeah.